Good morning. Get ready with me to go to church while I talk about a lesson I learned on my 17th year on Earth. Today's lesson is Today's lesson is if you ever get into conflict with someone over text, take a moment off your phone to breathe, because you might end up saying something you don't mean. Put a finger down if you've ever been upset, and because your sadness turned into anger, you ended up sending multiple texts or maybe even a whole paragraph of you enraged. And although your feelings were valid, you may have ended up hurting the other person more than they did you. Put another finger down if sooner or later you ended up regretting the messages you sent because a lot of the things you said you didn't mean.
Guilty.
So guilty is charged, right? I try to follow this rule that I've made for myself, but I have slipped up more than I'd like. And I feel like I followed this rule much better when I was 16. And I don't really know what changed when I turned 17. Oh gosh, are we giving Flashback Mary again? And this time with sunscreen? I feel like on one hand, I handle these situations quite well, actually. I communicate well and I stay calm. But on the other hand, there have definitely been some situations where they could have gone better had I not let my emotions control me. In my opinion, I feel like I'm good at handling myself and my emotions during conflict, and that I choose to get mad. You know what I mean? I feel like I said you know what I mean a lot in the last video, and I'm gonna try not to do that again. But I definitely have found myself in situations where I knew I could stay calm, but I chose to get mad. That sounds deranged, but hear me out, because I script my videos, right? So when I was writing this part down, I was like, that sounds deranged. So I copy-pasted what I wrote down into ChatGPT to ask if I sounded insane. No. So maybe you guys don't think that I sound insane, but I was like, okay, that sounds insane to choose to get mad. But anyway, here is what ChatGPT said. This is what ChatGPT said. That actually makes a lot of sense, and it's more common than you might think. Sometimes, choosing to express anger in a way of asserting or letting the other person know the weight of the situation, even when you're fully aware of your ability to stay calm, it can also be a signal to yourself or others that something's crossed a boundary, prompting you to respond with strong emotions instead of patience or restraint. It might also be that expressing anger feels more satisfying in certain situations because it feels more authentic to be the moment or issue, even if calmness is within reach. Honestly, I feel like it's pretty accurate, especially the first part, because I think that I've set some boundaries by being angry. But I also feel like there have definitely been times where I've been upset and then it turned into anger, and as much as that was valid, I think I went overboard with it, you know? That's another thing that I found myself saying a lot in the last video, you know? Okay, now I don't know what to do because I'm not gonna do makeup. That's not happening. I'm not sure if I've ever crossed the line, and for me the line is attacking and or insulting someone directly. But to be honest, maybe I did and people just never told me, or they did tell me, but I forgot. Either way, we're here to learn. So I got a new hair tool. Can you guys tell?
Did you guys hear the sizzle?
It did not have to sizzle. What the? That was so unnecessary. Let me pick out an outfit. I don't know what to wear yet. Or maybe if you yell at me what to wear, maybe I can hear it through the screen. No. That's so... It gets really cold in church. And I often find myself having to like... Because it's so cold. I've changed into a bodysuit, but I have not yet changed my pants. And this is not the full outfit. Duh. Because when is this ever the full outfit for me? Anyway, back to the topic. Whatever the case of me getting angry, I don't want to do it anymore, okay? I want to be able to keep my cool because I know that once I've been set off, I can say some really hurtful words, and even if it's just swearing at someone, or no, even if it's just even if it's just swearing at someone, I know that could still really hurt someone. And I don't want to do that or become that. Because I don't want to be the fun girl that's fun to be around, but you have to tiptoe around her because if you step on something that triggers her, she gets really angry or really fragile, like a ticking time bomb. I don't know why I'm using my phone as the mirror when I have two mirrors. But as I was saying, it doesn't feel good to get angry anyway, so what's the point? Right? Well, no, I can feel angry. I just don't feel like it's worth it to let off some steam in the worst way possible, which is hurting somebody else. Oh, but by the way, don't take this as, oh, see, woman, why don't you be more like her because she doesn't get angry, she doesn't get frustrated and annoyed like you guys do. Like, why don't you guys learn how to stay calm? Don't you dare. Don't even, don't, because we're allowed to feel angry. So don't use this video as a way to shut women up or get them to calm down, because this is not the video. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that I have anger issues. That I have anger issues.
Hey, welcome back to another editor's note. I'm not trying to say that we should excuse women's wrongdoings and or their response that may be wrong towards something. What I'm specifically talking about is we shouldn't shut down women who are trying to talk about something that they are passionate about. Like, for example, the injustices, abuse, and inequalities that women and girls have had to face. Obviously, these kinds of topics are disappointing and disheartening. So, of course, we'll get frustrated, especially if someone is trying to shut us down because they don't care. I hope that's clear.
I think that's what this whole series is. This is me trauma dumping, but in a professor way where I tell you, okay, this is what you do or don't do. Oh, I could have been doing this whole time and I didn't. Could have put my hair up and I didn't. I guess the biggest takeaway here is just to breathe. Take a moment to breathe. Even if it's not happening over the phone, I think even more so if it's happening in real life, right? Because even if your anger is justified, and I'm talking to myself here, even if my anger is justified, I shouldn't retaliate by insulting the other person, especially if they didn't mean it, right? Which is, I feel like, what often happens with me, because when somebody actually wants to anger me, on purpose and is actually insulting me on purpose, that's when I shut down and go all quiet because I'm too scared. But when someone doesn't mean it, I get triggered and I express that I'm triggered in, again, a horrible way. Because even if you say, okay, her anger is justified because I hurt her, even if I didn't mean to, I hurt her, so her anger is justified, I still really don't want to be that person who overreacts like that, right? Because it's okay to be upset, but don't go batshit crazy. Which is me. That's for me, okay? That's a lesson I have to learn. And maybe some of you will resonate with it. I'm really time conscious right now. It's only 9:12. Calm down. I actually have somewhere to be this time. Unlike last time, I lied. I didn't have anywhere to be because I wasn't home. That was my brother's place, which is not in my city. We live in 2 different cities. So now I'm home and now I have somewhere to be because I actually have friends here. I'm just talking to myself here. I'm sorry. So if you struggle, please do not strangle anybody. If you struggle, you know, with anger issues or something similar, hopefully this video has given you insight on what to do. What to do? Well, I'm not really giving solutions because I'm still 17, so I'm still learning. That's the whole point. It's like, these are lessons I've learned and I'm still learning and trying to apply. Here's to doing breathing exercises before reacting because it's not worth it. I'm using you as a mirror again. I have acquired a lint roller because I need to lint roll my pants. I've decided I'm gonna wear my, what are these called? Cargo pants instead. Because they match the jacket's vibe better.
So, because I'm a really good YouTuber, I forgot to film the outro and to show you guys the fit. And unfortunately, I was having way too much fun to be taking pictures of myself when I was out with my friends yesterday. But fortunately for you all, I am really good at Photoshop, so I created a little something to help you guys visualize what the drip was like. Like I said, I forgot to film an outro, so that circus music really does resonate. But again, I had places to be this time around. So I'd say let me off the hook. Anyway, that's it for today. Remember to look bomb, but don't react like one. I'll see ya when I see ya.
I need to go to therapy. How much is therapy these days? Somebody let me know in the comments. My dogs chewed on my underwear. Should I actually include that in there or no? Would you like to know that my shoes dogged on my underwear? Is that a turn off? Because I mentioned underwear? Is that gross? It's underwear. Whoa, okay, I guess you don't like, okay, whatever. That doesn't matter. If you don't like the thought of mentioning underwear. Are you 8? Are you Skibbity Rizzler?